China's car industry is standing at a genuine turning point. While Western and Japanese manufacturers scramble to keep pace with electrification and smart mobility, homegrown Chinese brands have quietly stopped playing catch-up in the full-size SUV space and started setting the pace themselves. 2026 is shaping up to be the year that shift becomes impossible to ignore, with a wave of enormous technology-stuffed SUVs rolling out that rival, and in several cases outclass, anything coming out of Germany, Japan, or the United States. These aren't just big vehicles for the sake of being big. Each one on this list pairs serious scale with hybrid or fully electric powertrains, cabins that feel closer to private aviation than a family car, and driver assistance systems that would have sounded like science fiction a decade ago. Chassis platforms borrowed from established European engineering, in-house AI ecosystems built by tech giants, and battery packs large enough to rival small power stations are becoming standard features, rather than rare exceptions. What follows is a rundown of 6 of the most significant Chinese SUVs set to launch in 2026, counted down from the largest field of contenders to the single standout that tops them all. Starting the list is a vehicle that's redefining what a premium Chinese SUV can look like. The Lynk & Co 900 blends a distinctly Scandinavian design language with genuinely futuristic engineering, stretching past 5 meters in length, enough to put it shoulder to shoulder with heavyweight luxury rivals like the BMW X7 and Mercedes-Benz GLS. Underneath, it rides on Geely's SPA2 platform, the same underpinnings used in some of Volvo's most refined models, which brings a level of ride quality, structural rigidity, and safety engineering that few Chinese SUVs of the past could claim. Power comes from a hybrid setup, pairing a 2.0-liter turbocharged engine with an electric motor, together producing roughly 500 horsepower and enough torque for smooth, confident acceleration rather than jerky bursts of speed. Visually, the 900 leans sleek and muscular, with signature Lynk & Co LED lighting and a wide panoramic grille that draws eyes wherever it parks. But the cabin is really where this SUV separates itself. Step inside, and the atmosphere shifts from car interior to something closer to a first-class airline lounge. Nappa leather, wood and metal trim accents, a full-width digital dashboard, and a floating center display. Driver assistance runs through Huawei's Harmony OS, handling everything from voice commands to AI-guided navigation and live environmental monitoring. With comfortable seating for 7, the Lynk & Co 900 is positioned as a genuine family luxury flagship when it lands in 2026, a fusion of European chassis know-how and Chinese software ambition. Moving up the list, the Aito M8 represents the meeting point of Huawei's tech ecosystem and Seres' vehicle engineering, and it takes everything people already liked about the Aito lineup and scales it up considerably. At just over 5.2 meters long, this full-size luxury SUV carries itself with real presence. A wide front grille wrapped in sharp LED lighting, aerodynamically sculpted sides, and a clean rear finished with a light bar stretching across the tailgate. Performance comes from a dual-motor all-wheel drive setup pushing past 530 horsepower, which is more than enough to make a vehicle this size feel genuinely quick off the line. A substantial 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack backs that up, offering an estimated 620 kilometers of range on a single charge. Respectable numbers even before factoring in the size of the vehicle carrying them. What really sets the M8 apart, though, is how it thinks. Harmony OS 4.0 runs through the entire vehicle, turning climate control, navigation, and dozens of other functions into voice-activated, AI-optimized processes, so the SUV behaves less like a traditional car and more like a rolling computer. Inside, the design follows what Huawei calls a smart cocoon philosophy. Soft-touch surfaces, ambient lighting, premium Nappa leather, and individually controlled climate zones for each seating area. A large central infotainment display, a digital instrument cluster, and rear seat entertainment screens round out the passenger experience, while Huawei's proprietary sound system delivers full 360-degree immersive audio. Whether it's shuttling business guests, running a family road trip, or simply making an entrance, the M8 aims to balance raw performance with genuine intelligence. Few SUVs have already proven China's ability to go toe-to-toe with Western luxury brands quite like the Li Auto L9, and its 2026 update is set to push that reputation even further. Measuring close to 5.3 meters, the L9 sits as Li Auto's flagship model, built around the idea that comfort and power don't need to be traded off against each other. Its smart hybrid powertrain combines a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with dual electric motors, together generating a remarkable 653 horsepower. That kind of output gives the L9 genuinely sports car-like acceleration, while still retaining the smoothness and efficiency expected of a luxury SUV. A 44.5 kilowatt-hour battery allows it to cover more than 200 kilometers in pure electric mode, making it one of the more efficient extended-range SUVs in its class. From the outside, the L9 carries a bold, confident stance. A continuous light bar and smooth aerodynamic surfacing give it a sense of both power and polish. Inside is where the smart luxury concept really comes through. Multiple high-definition OLED screens, a 3D head-up display, and an intelligent voice assistant that manages entertainment, temperature, and more. Every seat is finished in ultra-soft Nappa leather with massage, heating, and ventilation built in, while second-row passengers get airline-style comfort, complete with personal touchscreens and a panoramic sunroof overhead. Behind all of this sits a dual Qualcomm 8155 chip setup that handles advanced autonomous driving functions with AI-driven navigation that adapts in real time to traffic, weather, and even individual driver habits. Paired with an adaptive suspension system and active noise cancellation, the ride quality is often described as closer to gliding than driving. The L9 isn't just a large SUV. It's built as a complete experience around comfort, intelligence, and precision engineering. Third on the list is a vehicle with a very different mission, proving that rugged off-road capability and high-end luxury aren't mutually exclusive. The Jetour G700, a product of Chery Automotive's Jetour sub-brand, measures close to 5.2 meters and looks every bit ready to tackle mountain trails while still being polished enough to roll up to a red carpet event. Jetour has built a reputation over recent years for pushing boundaries, and the G700 stands as its most ambitious release yet. A 3.0-liter turbocharged V6 hybrid engine under the hood produces over 500 horsepower, giving it serious punch across almost any terrain. Four-wheel drive, adaptive air suspension, and intelligent terrain response modes let it move confidently across rocky hillsides, sand dunes, and standard highway driving alike. Despite that rugged mechanical DNA, the cabin leans entirely toward comfort and sophistication. Plush leather seating, a full-length panoramic sunroof, and a dual-screen cockpit running a next-generation operating system that syncs smoothly with mobile devices. The exterior design reflects strength through square proportions, an upright stance, and a wide grille flanked by T-shaped LED headlights. Inside, passengers are surrounded by ambient lighting, a 30-speaker surround sound system, and zero-gravity seats designed to make even long journeys feel like a treat rather than an endurance test. Between the raw off-road capability and the refined interior craftsmanship, the G700 makes the case that Chinese automakers can genuinely compete with, and in places surpass, some of the biggest names in the global SUV market. Taking the runner-up position is one of the most audacious and powerful Chinese SUVs ever built, the Angwang U8L, an extended and even more luxurious take on BYD's already legendary U8. Stretching past 5.3 meters, this SUV carries an almost militaristic presence. Sharp, angular front styling, a bold silhouette, and massive 22-inch wheels that make it look ready to command attention in any setting, from a battlefield to a city street. The real story, though, is what's happening beneath that armored-looking exterior. A quad-motor system, one motor driving each individual wheel, delivers a staggering 1,200 horsepower combined. That layout enables some genuinely unusual party tricks, including a tank turn that lets the vehicle rotate a full 360 degrees on the spot, and even brief floating capability thanks to its sealed underbody design. BYD's advanced E4 platform ties all of this together, delivering a level of control, balance, and structural safety that lets the U8L handle terrain that would stop most conventional SUVs in their tracks. Inside, the experience shifts entirely toward luxury yacht territory. Handcrafted leather upholstery, wood-grain trim, and expansive ambient lighting throughout the cabin. Small details carry real weight here, from a crystal gear selector, to a massive 70-inch augmented reality head-up display that projects navigation and vehicle information directly onto the windshield. BYD's DiPilot Intelligent Driving Suite adds Level 3 autonomous capability, backed by more than 30 safety sensors, constantly monitoring the vehicle's surroundings. With seating for 7 and power output that rivals dedicated performance cars, the Yangwang U8L reads less like an evolution of the SUV formula and more like a full rewrite of it. Topping the list is a vehicle that represents the very best of what China's automotive and technology sectors can produce when working together, the Aito M9. As the flagship of Huawei's automotive partnership, this full-size luxury SUV measures over 5.2 meters and rides on an advanced extended-range electric platform, functioning less like a traditional car and more like a technological fortress on wheels. A dual-motor setup produces 530 horsepower and an eye-watering 1,000 newton-meters of torque, giving it rapid, near-silent acceleration thanks to its electric drive. A 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack supports up to 600 kilometers of range, striking a genuine balance between power and everyday practicality. Styling-wise, the M9 goes for futuristic restraint, smooth body surfaces, flush door handles, and a panoramic light strip across the front that gives it a minimalist yet unmistakably commanding look. Step inside and the comparison to a private jet cabin feels entirely earned. Every system runs through HarmonyOS 4.0, tying together a 15.6-inch central display, a 10.4-inch passenger entertainment screen, and a genuinely conversational AI assistant that handles lighting, temperature, and route planning through natural voice commands. The result feels less like operating a machine and more like working alongside a capable co-pilot. Passengers get a 3D immersive sound system, massaging leather seats, and ambient lighting that adjusts dynamically based on the selected driving mode. Safety hasn't been an afterthought either. The M9 carries more than 30 sensors, including LiDAR, millimeter-wave radar, and ultrasonic units, giving it a level of situational awareness that goes well beyond typical driver assist systems. It's less a car in the traditional sense and more a fully integrated intelligent environment, built to learn, adapt, and improve the experience of every single trip. Combining performance, intelligence, and outright luxury into one package, the AITO M9 stands as a strong signal of where mobility as a whole is headed next. From the commanding European-inflected presence of the Lynk & Co 900 to the sheer audacity of the Yangwang U8L and the polished brilliance of the AITO M9, these 6 SUVs make one thing clear. China's automotive industry has stopped chasing the rest of the world and started setting the direction itself. What used to be a story about catching up in size, comfort, or raw horsepower has turned into a story about leading in integration, blending scale, electrification, and genuinely useful onboard intelligence into single, cohesive packages. 2026 looks set to be the year this shift becomes visible on a global scale, as these vehicles begin reaching markets well beyond China's borders. Buyers who once assumed "made in China" meant compromise are increasingly finding the opposite. Interiors that outclass long-established luxury nameplates, software ecosystems that update and improve over time rather than sitting static, and price points that undercut Western equivalents by a wide margin despite matching or exceeding them on pay peaks.